What up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday. Oh, man.
Sounded a little tired.
Yeah. You know, I'm exhausted with this corona stuff, which we're going to get into in a moment here. Man, what is going on, everyone? I'm Shadell, host of PagingTheSimpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife.
The more energetic Lauren, apparently.
Yeah.
Which is a switch.
As fast as the coronavirus news has come and gone, it's back.
Yeah, we had a solid episode last week.
Oh, it was bomb. I was digging it. I was feeling my back to the groove. This is great.
Normal.
I was excited, and now I'm just like,
it's tricky. It's a tricky time to have a podcast that talks about stuff that happens in the world when this is kind of the main thing happening.
Well, there's a lot of things happening, but like, I want to talk about more like interesting like things and
right.
Yeah, like you know.
Yeah. We do have some stuff today, so it's not all about Corona. So don't get scared off.
None of it's about Corona.
Okay.
None of it's talking about Corona, so I mean that's good. It's just it from what we normally talk about, because normally it's like there's a plethora of like stuff we can talk about. It's been pretty dry, but like yeah, this whole episode nothing to do with Corona. I'm just exhausted about the Corona. Well, actually, hold up, I lied. That's
that's what I'm saying.
Into.
Right,
yeah.
I'm
You're
like
right.
you.
Yeah.
You led into it and everything.
Yeah, you're right. I do want to talk about this. So, man, I'm gonna start with this. All you guys that essential workers and people that still have to like go into work, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everything everyone's doing. I'm glad that we all, everyone that is able to work and provide for their family.
We're basically saying, remember that, like, obviously this is tough on everybody. So everybody is having their own issues with their own situation. So just like essential workers are having their stress, so are the people who are unemployed. So are the people who are employed but work from home, and like all the different scenarios. So I just look at it as we're all going through the same thing, just differently. So
I would have what I would call a little breakdown in the past week, as we were going back and forth and talking.
Man, we both did.
And it really was like it was a real tearjerker.
Yeah.
A lot of tearjerker.
We just had like a super real conversation. Because like for us, this has been, we'd be lying if we would say it's not affecting our relationship. And, it makes things more difficult. Because the thing is, there's more stress on you individually, and you're going through your own stuff that, like, when you come together, it's like sometimes you'll take it out on each other, or you're not talking about it enough, so then it builds up and explodes, or like there's all different scenarios. And then also we handle things differently. Mm-hmm. So for us, it's just been a little bit stressful with us as well. And so we had like this super real conversation just regarding us and our relationship and our individual stresses and all this. And it just it got very real towards the end, and it got very emotional, and, just letting it all out, just saying really how it is, not holding back.
Yeah. I don't want to touch on it too much as far as that, that whole situation goes.
Yeah.
But more so just to lead into everyone that's working from home, has the ability to work from home. I totally understand the stress you're going through. And dog, take a moment to like, if you do work from home and you listen to this podcast, shout out to you. And just take a moment just to like take a deep breath in and take it out. Like it's needed. Like, yeah, I'll talk about myself. So I've been working from home, I'm not sure how many weeks now, pretty much since like March
9, 10, something around there is
March
where we are right now.
13th-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
I've been, so a good 2 months, right?
Over
2 months. Yeah, over 2 months. Mm-hmm. And at first, it was like, okay, cool, no big deal. But then it progresses, and it's just like, I'm starting to see this with like the clients I work with, where like normally they would work like like a 8 to 3 or something, and I would know like if I email them past a certain time, I'm not getting a response till the next day. But now I'm getting responses from them to like 5 o'clock, 6, and I'm just like, wait, you're normally not working these times. Like, why are you emailing me? I'm supposed to have my break because you're not here. So it's like, hey, and it's like, I say that because I'm stressed when it comes to work from home. Normally, I was able to. I worked like a few days going to the office, a few days, at home, and it was great. And now I'm just like, it's exhausting. Yeah, there's no break. And I was saying this to you. I've been saying this for a while now, but I'll totally go back to working at Target, like when I used to work there years ago. Um, if I was able to maintain the same pay I have now,
Right.
because with my job, even when I have days off, emails and people still needing me, it's still happening. So the next day I come in, I'm handling yesterday's work or whatever day. Like when we go on vacations, I come back, I'm seeing like 200, 300 emails. I have to filter all through to see who needs help from me while I was out. That's exhausting. If I'm working at Target, I know as soon as I punch out the clock, someone else is coming in to fill my position to go carry on. Um, and I'm constantly running. It just feels like you're just nonstop running. And like lately, I've been finding myself, and I stopped doing this the past week, where like as soon as 5 o'clock comes, I'm out. Like I just turn my computer off. Because like at the beginning of this, I'm sitting here like on my computer to like 5:30, 6 o'clock, like just like still trying to watch whatever emails come through so I can help whatever clients reach out to me. And I'm like,
And you get on early too.
yeah, I normally get on like 30 minutes early, but I mean it's not much.
But still, you keep pushing it like on both ends.
But like, it's just it's draining because now I feel like what's happening now, since everyone's busy and everyone's doing things. Normally, if we weren't dealing with a crazy pandemic, I would have a few people reach out to me. Normally, summertime is our slow time because people are out taking vacations, people are out doing whatever. Like, it's relatively slow in my current like space.
But this year's different, yeah.
Yeah, because no one's taking vacations. Everyone's home. Like I don't see that happening. Maybe later in the year, come fall and May ease up because restrictions will be lessened and people can take days off and they may take like staycations or something. But normally it's pretty slow. And right now I have like people that normally wouldn't reaching out, and it's just like becoming a thing of like I'm dealing with so many things being pulled from so many different ways. And normally I'm pretty good at like remembering everything I have to do for the next day, and I can't. Like at this point I give up. And I'm like, a part of me is waiting. I feel like you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and like a part of me is like waiting for like my boss something to say something. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's just me putting it in my head that like since I feel like I'm doing such a bad job, someone's gonna notice and say something.
I don't think so though, especially with the type like how he is and stuff. I don't think you're doing as bad as you think you are.
Well, yeah,
we're beating ourselves up right now, obviously.
Well, yeah, I know that. Like in our last like team call, like I got like praised for like whatever stuff, but like that's great. Everyone's praising me for this, but I'm sitting here like I'm stressed as hell.
Yep.
Like, dog, I'm running like I like I'm two people doing one job. Like it's just. Does that make sense? What I just said? Okay. Like I'm just, and like I at this point I have like PTSD. So every time like my computer dings off and I'm away from it, I'm just like, shoot, who is it? Like I'm just like I
know. Like was it? It was one time I was listening to I think it was the Department of Labor call, and like the little ding or something went off, and it was the same, and you were like, wait, that was you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like the sound.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when like in TikToks and stuff, sometimes like there's this one where an alarm will go off like out of nowhere, and like it just kind of triggers people who like hate waking up to their alarms.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I want everyone to take a moment or take today to go out go for a walk. Like we've been trying to do this a bit more, and it's helpful.
Yeah,
to,
we've
like,
been
get
doing like 1 to 2 walks a day, pretty much. Like first thing in the morning and then after work.
It's helpful. I mean, it takes a place of like where I would normally exercise every day, going to the gym. Obviously, I can't, so
Well,
I take it out in another way.
and it's good to get that out of your body because stress lives in the body and like all this bad stuff. And so, if you're walking, if you're moving, you're physically helping the emotional part too. So, plus it's nicer weather now, at least here. It's starting to
a lot
get
of places in the world right now, in the
yeah.
U.S.
Well, yeah. So we're trying to take advantage of it.
Yeah, yeah. I just gotta say, like, for sure, if you're working from home, not to knock anyone that goes into the office or goes into wherever they're working. If working from home, like, just take that much needed like day off or something. Like, mental health is important, especially if you do go into a store or something. Like, they call you. I was reading an article where like they sit there and they call the people that work in stores and essential workers like heroes and like you're doing a great job, but a lot of these people don't feel like that. Like, yeah, cool, you're giving me $2 more, but I'm still risking my life.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people don't feel like it just because they feel like they're just doing their job. I think there's that thing too, is a lot of people try to be humble, and so they're just like, I don't get it. Like, I'm just here. Like, especially like medical professionals, they're just like, I've been doing it. Like, I've been saving lives. I've been, in this world. So thanks, I guess. But, I'm doing what I signed up for.
Is May Mental Health Month?
I thought it was
look at us.
Mental Health Awareness
Month.
That's
what I thought too.
Yeah.
Look at us doing mental health topics without mental health awareness of knowing it is that month.
Was that English?
Yeah. But yeah, take the much needed I can't even talk. God damn, you messed me up.
I'm sorry.
Take the day off. Whatever. Like, yo, Memorial Day's coming up, and I'm so excited because I'm like 3 days. Like, I feel like Saturday and Sunday for me just fly by, and it's not enough for me. So like, yes, I get to just like take it easy, take a breath, like an extra day, just to not have to worry.
This is weird for me.
What? Go ahead.
Memorial Day weekend is like usually slammed. Like Memorial Day and Labor Day weekend are really popular wedding weekends. So I'm like, oh, that just dawned on me.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about what's been going on with you for the past two months and change?
Sure.
Go ahead. Let them know.
Okay, so I'll advocate, I guess, for the self-employed and now unemployed population. So I can't speak on like if you have a W-2 and you're unemployed, but I can speak on if you're self-employed and unemployed. And it's been rough. So I work in the wedding industry. I work in the beauty space. So overall, just everything came to a halt overnight. We were told by the health department back in March that we should think about not working. And then by the end of that week, we were mandated to not work. And then just ever since then, weddings have just dropped like flies. Obviously, because, you can't have more than 5 people right now in a group. And if your vendors can't even be working, then they can't do your hair and makeup and all that fun stuff. But so weddings is the biggest part of my business. And so it's been a stressor that this year is probably completely shot for me because pretty much all of spring and summer is all rescheduled, and even some fall people are rescheduling now. I have September, October, November brides that are reaching out to me and being like, so thinking of doing this. Some have pulled the trigger already. So the fact that I could technically open maybe in a couple months or something, but it's like this whole year is still not good for me. So even when I can reopen, because the majority part of my business is the weddings part. So because I don't do hair, so I do makeup, lashes, waxing, and I don't do like cuts and colors and all that stuff. So I am more of the luxury services, you could say, because not everyone just gets their makeup done every day and lashes and all that stuff. So yeah, so it's been tough. I feel like I've been a cross between working more for no pay because you have to obviously work with your brides to reschedule them and be, you know, appeasing and comforting and all this stuff. And, you know, meanwhile, you're like going insane yourself. And then it's also like I'm trying to prioritize self-care when I can. It's a very weird space to be in because I don't know. I very much take it day by day. I'm trying not to push myself to do stuff that I physically or emotionally or mentally feel like I cannot handle in that moment. So, like, I'll get these random bursts of motivation and I'm like, okay, cool, let's do it. Like, let's go for it. Like, I had this crazy burst of motivation to do this insanely long blog post the other day. And I was like, all right, let's do it while it's here. Because then when I am just in a not so great space, I can't do anything. I'll stare at the computer literally for hours and trying to force myself to do something. And I'm like in this weird space where I just can't. So I try to give myself grace for that. Grace was my 2020 word, which is really ironic because it still applies. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with me. I'm at the place where I don't know what phase I'm reopening in yet. It hasn't been announced. Phase 1 for Connecticut starts May 20th, which does include hair salons, which is a whole debate in itself. But I'm not in it. So I'm just kind of still in limbo and still communicating with clients like, hey, you're on a list and, you know, I'll let you know as soon as I hear anything. But right now I have no clue. Like, I can't answer anything, like, because I got people who like, even like mid-June, they're like, if I do my engagement shoot, then are you going to be able to like do it? And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I want to very much, but I may not be able to. So like, we'll talk. I don't know. And a lot of, you know, most of them understand. I've had some really amazing brides who are, you know, understanding and even just very kind during this time, which is very appreciated because, yeah, like I said, we kind of have to prioritize them over us right now. But, yeah, so it's been a doozy, but for me, it just kind of all hit ahead the other night because it's the dreaded, like, what if this goes on too long and I lose too much money and ends. Like, it's that's definitely not the intention, you know, and I'm doing everything in my power to not let that happen. I thankfully have some business savings and I've been using that to pay us, and I finally got the PPP and I'm still arguing with unemployment. But I'm trying, you know, obviously not to get to that point because, you know, I was talking about how this is it. Like, this is my one true love and my passion that, like, I always want to do. I don't really have a backup plan. And, you know, I went to college but what I went to college for, like early childhood education, first of all, it doesn't pay well at all. And second of all, I get really sick around kids easily. So it's just not a great space for me to be in. So that's out. And just, yeah. So hoping it doesn't get to that, but there is that kind of crippling fear in the back of your mind every now and then that just wants to make an appearance, you know? So, yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with me. But to my self-employed people, it's rough. It's really rough because, like I said, the stuff we sacrifice to make our dream happen and how long we've worked at it and how much we've put into it, for it to just be possibly taken away overnight is terrifying and is really depressing. So what I've found solace in is connecting with other people who get my situation, a lot of wedding vendors, other makeup artists, things like that, because, you know, we all get it. People are on all their different playing fields. So some people are more positive, some people are more negative, some people are more, you know, in a better space, a worse space. So it's interesting to kind of get everyone's point of view, and just support each other, because I don't know, it's almost like how, like, you don't know what it's like to be a mom until you are. And so I feel like, you know, I can't really sympathize with moms as much as other moms could sympathize with that mom. So it's kind of the same thing with, like, self-employment, is like, if you find your kind of group of people, It's really good to have, those people to bounce ideas off of and get support and stuff, because you're in like this bubble together. You're in this bubble that you're hoping doesn't pop. Yeah. So that's kind of what I've been doing, but just reach out for support and be supportive when you can. That's my advice is, little give and take, because right now it's hard for everybody. So definitely don't feel like you have to exhaust yourself with giving yourself if you feel like you can't. Mm-hmm. But then like if you're in better spirits one day or something, maybe be that for someone else who then is going through it too. Because I think that's what really helps everyone kind of stick together and get through this as best we can. So, and I just hope that other states are having better unemployment experiences than I am. I don't know. I hear it's bad everywhere, but I also hear Connecticut is definitely one of the worst. So, yay! So, yeah. Health, blessings, and money to everybody. That's it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I just, hope everyone gets their financial things and mental health stuff figured out. Yeah, this year is pretty much just a wash. Like, that's pretty much what's going to happen. And I hope it does not lead into 2021, but who knows?
Oh, God, please, no.
But on to other news, we are good.
I'm good.
So,
heavy.
I want to talk about Kobe. So, the autopsy came back for all 9 of the people that were on the plane, and it was all certified as blunt trauma.
No.
Relax, dog. It just confirms that, it wasn't like a... it wasn't like a slow and painful type death. It was just like, boom.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's at least helpful. At least that's like, okay, cool. And it was certified as an accident. So as of now, the families of the victims are suing Island Express, which is the company that owned the helicopter. A relative of the pilot has come out and said that it was the passenger's fault for what happens, although many are skeptical of this accusation.
How would they know?
We're gonna get into that. They have.
Did the pilot make a call right before it went down or something?
I mean, it makes no sense, because if you're the pilot and you know it's unsafe, why would you go? So clearly this guy, the fault has to be on the pilot. Would have to, if my Uber driver knows he's not the biggest, he doesn't feel safe driving on the highway. Why are you going to take me on the highway if you don't feel safe doing it?
Right.
It's not, I'm not the one at fault. You're the one taking the risk. You're the one driving it.
Right.
Let me see here. I'm going to see if I have any details
that and the
on
company
this.
itself. So not even just the pilot, but the company itself should be held responsible. Just because, again, even if the pilot was saying, no, I got this, then the company should be like, no, it's not the best conditions. Let's wait. Let's not.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the chain of command. There's multiple people that can kind of play into making a decision.
Yeah, they're pretty much blaming it on the passengers, because they knowing and voluntary encounter with the risk involved, because they knew what the risk was that was involved with it. It's essentially what it was.
No, tell me to go home then. What are you talking about? Yes, because I know what is up in the clouds. I know about clouds and mountains and fog and atmosphere and all that stuff. You're right. I was trained in that.
The rep at the company doesn't give an example of what the passengers did to cause the accident, which just goes to show that these claims are pretty nefarious.
They were present. How dare they?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
That's a stupid. That's a terrible.
It's really a slap in the face of is it Vanessa? Right? Is his wife's name? Mm-hmm. It's come on now. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
And that makes no sense. That's like saying, if we go flying in a plane and that crashes, it's the passenger's fault.
Basically, it's a slap in the face to all the families, because you're basically calling whoever went on that stupid.
Pretty much.
And it's wow, thanks for,
much. They're saying that they put him at a voluntary risk.
Then you could have said, I'm not flying. Hello.
That really makes no sense to me.
That is a thing. right? I'm not trained in all that. I don't know the mechanics of the, the atmosphere and how all that works.
That's like if I lost a family member in a plane crash and I try to sue them, and they're like, nope, it was their fault. They got on the plane themselves. They took the risk, and that's what happened. I'm like, buddy.
Let's compare it to something that we're more familiar with, snow. So if we needed like a driver to come pick us up for something voluntary, like going to the game or whatever, in the snow, and say it's getting real bad out, they could say, well,
I'm not coming. Like,
right. They could just say, like,
it's putting me
roads
at
are
risk.
Getting worse. We need to let the plows go through. Like, we need to wait this out. Now is not the time.
Yeah.
Like, even if, yes, I can understand that snow is bad and that, it's probably not the best idea. But, like, it's still ultimately on them. Like, you can say no. Everybody knows that's part of business. You can say no.
It makes sense. But I just had to share that because that's currently what the news that's happening, and I hope they win the lawsuit because it's not for, like, the money's not going to Vanessa. I'm 100% certain she would give the money to the rest of the families that were affected by this.
Yeah.
Because it's needed. Like,
yeah.
Money's not going to solve the problem. It's not going to bring their loved ones back, but it's like, here goes the funeral costs. Here goes whatever. Like, here's something for your grievances, if that's the right term.
Well, yeah, and not for nothing, right now, we don't even know what those families are going through right now. If they're just average families.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, they're probably not if they're hanging with Kobe like that, but nonetheless.
That's true. I don't even know why I thought about it like that. You know what I mean.
But yeah, I just had to share that because it's wild that that's what they're going with. And I guess as news goes through with this lawsuit, I kind of want to follow it, so I'll give updates as this progresses. But I'm pretty interested to see how this turns out. I really feel like there's no way. Well, there's a way that they can lose, but there's no way that they can't lose, at least in my eyes, because it just seems like stupid to have it go to the helicopter company or whatever. That's just my thoughts on it. I just had to share. Now, you had something about Jeffree Star and some
so I haven't brought up YouTube stuff in a minute. So a couple days ago, Jeffree Star released his latest eyeshadow palette, and it's called Cremated. And it's basically an assortment of all cool tone neutrals. Now you got me tripping over my words. Which, I mean, first of all, it's kind of funny because people are complaining that they're underwhelmed because it's a neutral palette and it's him. But I'm like, it's kind of a smart move because, yeah, you're known for colorful stuff, but you're going to get a lot of people who just want neutrals from you too. So, because they want the quality of his eyeshadows, but to be able to wear it more. But the bigger thing here is the fact that he released something, or he's releasing something named that right now, is the controversy. Given the COVID-19 situation and the fact that pretty much all these people are being cremated, given the situation, and we're in a pandemic that is deadly and things like that. Man, so
you did it on purpose.
Huh?
You did it on purpose.
Well, I don't know, because first of all, he's known for having interesting names. It's not like this is new for him. But second of all, you do authentically, we even saw in the Shane Dawson thing last year, it takes a long time for things to happen. So this was already in the works. And I don't think the name could be switched that quickly, because right now his factory of people isn't working.
Oh yeah,
so it's not like they all of a sudden could have changed that packaging like that fast.
True.
So, I think it was in the works, but I see what people are saying because, yeah, I mean, it could have just waited a little bit.
And who's buying
longer.
that right now?
I'm sure plenty of people are.
Oh yeah, the little young girls.
I'm sure. That's the interesting thing is people are suffering financially right now, but people don't just give up everything they like either. People will still buy makeup and people will still support people that they're super fans of and all that kind of stuff. So, But yeah, and so
cremation palette.
What?
The cremation palette.
Cremated,
same thing.
and
You
so
should just call
it
the
has.
morgue.
Of course, there's like interesting names of the actual shadows because they have to go with the theme and stuff. So you have like obituary, burial gown, eulogy, grave digger.
Oh my god.
Death certificate, R.I.P., Paul Bearer, the morgue, solemnly swear, goodbye, last respects, diamond ashes, death blow, life insurance, inheritance, hearse, like all, and bombed. You have all like these death kind of names, and then some of them like have, like he has his star logo that has a halo around it. He has the hearse. He has the what is that called? What is that called where you put the ashes in urn? He has all, he has a, wow, I'm losing the name right now.
It's a tombstone.
Yeah. Yeah, all that. He has, like all those imprinted in the eyeshadows too. So like, because obviously you're going to go with the theme, but I just think, yeah, because it launches May 22nd. I don't know obviously what that means as far as when they'll ship or anything like that, but because he's in California obviously, so I think it's even worse over there, right? Isn't it, with like stuff opening up?
So much in New York.
Yeah, so yeah, so I was interested. I'd love to know people's thoughts, just because there's part of me, I get it, because he's interesting. He's always had stuff that was outside the box and that kind of stuff. I just think it was in poor taste, the timing. I mean, this, yeah, I would have waited because, you don't need to release something right now. First of all, like, you're okay. And second of all,
that's an understatement.
People wouldn't hold it against people if they didn't release stuff right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you had a longer time frame in between your releases, it's not like it would be an issue. Like, you would still be fine. Yeah, 5 months from now or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. And like, me personally, I get, from a makeup standpoint, I can understand why he picked cool tone neutrals. Not only because obviously cool tones go more with the death theme, if we're being just blunt, but there are, when it comes to neutral palettes in the makeup world, there are far more warm tone neutral palettes than there are cool toned, just because, I don't know, I guess that's the trend. And me personally, I love warm tone over cool tone just because of how they look on me and my skin tone. So I am not very intrigued by this palette, even if it wasn't named all this and stuff. It's not doing it for me, because I feel like the cool tones on me, it kind of makes me look more sickly and just like, ugh. I like the warm tone. I like to kind of bring the warmth to my face. But yeah, so I don't know. That's that. I thought it was an interesting topic. What are your thoughts?
Get that bag, boo.
So
I'm not buying it. I don't really care.
Well, yeah, but you don't think it's like kind of poor taste timing?
Whatever. It is what it is. I really don't care what people feel. If I was making that much money, I'm like, whatever. Throw it out.
All right.
What? Dog, I'm sitting here in my $16 million mansion. I don't care.
I think it was 17. But what's $1 million? Pretty much. It's just, it's baby money. That's a little bit of a difference.
Pretty much. But I'm going to move on to some relationship advice topics here.
What's the difference between a bronze and a gold toilet?
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
So this one's interesting. This is so interesting, I thought. So this girl titled it as "I Can't Stop Judging Partners by Their Appearance." And she says, "At the risk of sounding like a narcissist, I, a 21 female, am a good-looking person."
Oh my, all right. This is going this way already, okay.
I don't let it inflate my ego, and I'm a caring person who would honestly rather die than hurt someone's feelings.
Oh, okay. Jeez, I was like, where's this going?
Growing up, though, my
I thought she
family
was gonna say she'd rather die than look a certain way.
growing up, I rather my family put a lot of emphasis on the importance of looks. My immediate God damn, I can't even talk now. You threw me off my game.
No, I think we're both having issues today. There's something in the air.
The Rona? Is that you? My immediate and extended family always made comments about how pretty I was and how I'd have my pick when I got older. My mom would make passing comments about how weird looking my friends' boyfriends were. Oh God. And how said friends could do better based solely on looks. I didn't think this had any effect on me because I never thought how attractive people okay, she misspelled here, but she says how attractive people when I'm making new friends. She meant to say how attractive people are when I'm making new friends. I think picking friends based on attractiveness is absolutely horrible because it is horrible.
Okay, but has anyone heard of beauty is in the eye of the beholder too? Like,
yeah, that's great, dog.
Being attractive is completely different to each person.
That's great, dog. I mean, not really. Look at celebrities.
Yeah?
There's a general standard of
There's general, and then there's like a whole population of people that are like, ew, when they look at that person that like a lot of other people adore.
Okay, so
that's what I'm saying, though.
That's a few compared to the majority. So this girl goes on to say, it's a long freaking paragraphs, multiple paragraphs. I'm going to give you a brief synopsis. So essentially, she didn't date through high school, so she goes to college. She finds a guy that she clicks with in every level. He's smart, he's funny, he's ambitious and put together. She really likes him. But then she meets another guy who's standoffish, close-minded, and treats her and everyone else like an ass. But her friends and family constantly told her that, hey, they look great together. And because of all that fanfare, she thought this is the ideal relationship. And miraculously, the first guy and her are good friends. So she essentially, you know how...
She friend zoned the good one, and she went for the fuck boy.
Exactly. And they've been in that relationship for 2 years. So...
Yeah, how's that going?
Well, that relationship ended.
Okay.
And then she started dating again. And then she started...
Go back to the friend.
She started noticing that every person that she started talking to immediately started wondering if they'd be good enough for her family and friends.
Oh my God, go back to the friend. Go back to the friend, especially if he's not dating and he's been patient with you all these years and he listened to you whine about the terrible little boy you were with. Like, come on.
She says...
Oh, God, this is like a movie when you're like screaming at the screen and you want them to hear you.
She said, I would think they were cute and that they had a good personality, but when things started to get more serious, I became doubtful that they weren't attractive enough. And then on repeat, I would start thinking, is he really even that cute? My family would think I downgraded, and that would be an embarrassment and nothing I can do to stop it.
Wow.
So recently, though.
Oh, gosh.
But
wait, there's more.
She started developing feelings for the guy that she met before meeting her ex, and she's terrified. She's always cared about this guy so much as a friend, she puts in parentheses.
Oh, shut up.
And spent years feeling guilty about turning him down for her ex. He is such a genuine and good person. She's never had so much of a seamless connection with anyone.
Come on, you're just answering your own question.
But he isn't the most conventional attractive guy. I think he's attractive and always have, but I don't want to do to him what I now realize I've been doing to others, especially given our history.
Is it done?
The last few sentences, okay. She says, I don't know why I'm so preoccupied with looks when it comes to my partners, but I really hate myself for it and want to change. I just have no idea how to go about fixing myself. I know it's awful, and I feel like I can't talk to anyone I know without being ostracized. What do I do?
Girl, okay, I'm ready for you. So, what we're first gonna do is we gonna go get your man, because you guys sound like you'll live happily ever after, and it's adorable, and that's it. Okay, second of all, we're going to distance ourselves from those negative Nancys, okay? Because we don't need that kind of negativity in our life. Third of all, we gonna go to therapy and we gonna dig deep into what's going on here, okay? And finally, you're gonna realize that you do know why you keep doing that to other boys. It's because that's how you were trained when you were growing up. Everything in our life pretty much goes back to childhood. So you're gonna have these epiphany moments and these ahas, and then you're gonna be like, oh, and then I can work through this, and let me massage that, and let me get rid of this, and let me change this, and it's gonna be great, and it's gonna be a terribly hard process, and you're probably gonna cry, and you're gonna have some ups and downs, but in the end, it'll lead to you get the happy relationship with the adorable boy that is awesome and treats you well. You'll eventually get to the point where you're not going to have the issue of like, oh, but I'm doubting and he's not cute enough and they're going to think I downgraded, because you're not even going to care that they think that you downgraded, because you're going to be like, I'm with this amazing guy. You guys can be super superficial if you want, but I'm over here like loving him for him, and that's what matters. And like, cool. And that's what's going to happen. And it's going to be, you're going to live happily ever after, and it's going to be amazing. It may take years, but that's the long and the short of it. Okay. Is like, you got to unpack this, okay, and work through it, but people can change. That's my ultimate thing, is you can change and you can unravel and break patterns and family cycles and all that fun stuff. So go do it.
I do feel like this is a common thing, where like someone sees someone else that's attractive and they're like, yo, we have to match each other because we're attractive.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like it's stupid.
It's a big high school thing. If you
high school, but just a society thing.
Yeah, but if you ever look at a lot of the popular people in high school, they would literally just link up because it was like that's what they were supposed to do.
Well, that's what put in their heads in high school.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still a society thing because
it continues, because if you don't challenge it, it's just gonna continue.
Well, you have like Instagram, you have social media that like will further like push it to be like, yo, you're taking pictures together and like you guys look really cute together, like you guys are gonna have great kids, and it's like you further feel like you're stuck in a relationship that is possibly, because you don't know if you're not in it, but it's probably toxic, and you're just like, everyone says we look great together, so I have to be with this person. Right.
The fact that you're prioritizing that over everything else, that's dangerous.
And
that's not good.
It's interesting that like this came from her mom, and like as she was seeing her like friends, boyfriends, her mom was always making these comments, and it's just like, your mom's shallow.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's very superficial.
Like,
and,
yeah.
And not for nothing, I've always come across these like memes and these videos online and stuff, and especially from a dad, okay? Like for the daughter, it's a big thing that growing up, you're not just saying that they're pretty and beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's important, but you're not just emphasizing that you're also saying you're smart, you're respectable, you're hardworking, like all the other attributes that are very important to create and build up a strong woman all around. So like, and I've taken that to heart. Like it's very, I mean, it's important both ways, but it's like, that's huge. Yeah. Because like we always do that. And it's a subliminal thing. It's not like we're trying to be bad, but we'll see a little girl and she has on this dress and she's feeling herself, and we'll be like, oh, you're so pretty, and like, all that kind of stuff. And I guess because you're not really, you're not the parent, and you're just seeing her there, and it's okay. But if I was the parent, it was like, we having those mantras, we're going through it, like because I mean, there's a lot more that makes a strong woman than just looks. And I'm not doubting that she's beautiful. Like, that's great. Good for you. But, you know, and that's the thing too, is I've said this a million times, that I never dated on looks first. Like, the looks would always grow on me as I grew to know and love the person and for who they were. So for me, I feel like that's a good way to go about it. You need to love the person's soul, because that, you know, not for nothing, they always talk about how, like, you know, there's a saying, it's like fall in love with their eyes because it's the only thing that doesn't age. Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, not for nothing. You know, we're married, okay? Our intention is to live our entire lives together, right? Well.
Damn, was that really what was happening?
Surprise! Damn. I know, it wasn't very clear in those vows. No, so, because, surprise, okay? When you go through life together, you know, things are gonna sag, like wrinkles are gonna happen, hair is gonna go white, everything. And, you know, God forbid if you get sick or something, that could be even more. But, like, you're not always gonna look 100%. You know, and it's, you could do skincare, you could do whatever. At the end of the day, we're not celebrities, okay? We don't have unlimited funds to always not age and all that stuff. If you're naturally aging, you're going to age. So you have to fall in love with the person for who they are and their soul, because that's what's going to keep you guys tied throughout all of that. Because then, you know, when we're 50, when we're 60, when we're 70, we're still going to love each other, and we're still going to find each other adorable, attractive, whatever it is, because of the connection. Like, it's so, I mean, that's hugely important. It's not just all about looks. I mean, I will say, looks are important to an extent, because yes, you need, like, the physical sexual attraction and all that, you know, if that's what you're into. It's important for a little spark there. You can't just be completely repulsed by the person. But it's definitely not the most important part at all, because when you're going through the hardest parts of your life, who do you want there? Like, who? It's not for their looks. When you're going through, if you, like, you know, we're talking about this pandemic stuff, you know? If I lost my business, who do I want to go through that with? Who do I want to support me and to hear me out and to lift me up when I need it most? It's not based on looks whatsoever.
I'd say it's 50-50. It's not off looks. Looks are like the general introduction to, like, this person seems interesting. At least how I played it with it. But then it's like one I can think of off the top of my head was, like, back in high school. I didn't date at all in high school, but there's some girls that were interesting, and, like, there was one that, like, her look was interesting. I digged it. I'm like, okay, I like you. But then, like, being around her and stuff like that, I'm like, I don't like you. Like,
see? Exactly.
Like,
no, seriously, there could be, like, the hottest people on earth, and they could either be dull or they could be annoying. Like,
well, that's why, like, I get your stance, and that's no problem. But looks are always, like, the introduction to, like, me knowing if I'm like, okay, I like the way you look, cool. But, like, it has to, like, compliment itself.
Right.
I'm not heavy on it. Like, of course, I've met people that, like, may not be the greatest, like, lookers or something. But I'm not gonna be like, man, I can't see myself with you. I do get how, like, yeah, when people do jump from one relationship to another, people are gonna have that initial thought. They're probably not gonna tell you it as your mom would, in this girl that I read this off of. But, like, other than that, it's like once people see your chemistry and see how you work, it's like, oh yeah, like, they're great for each other, because it's like looks are just, it is what it is. But, like, when they see how you operate and how, like, you guys, you know, talk to each other or you know, work together in public,
right?
It goes out of the door. Like, everyone's just like, man, you guys look great together, just off of your energy.
And I'll say that with you, it's been the most that I've gotten the whole "you guys look cute together" thing, because I think maybe our looks do match up a little more than what I've had before. However, it's not like I never heard that before, because it's just what you were just saying, that when people like see that you guys are just like, you know, like, ooh, like, you know, just like happy and together in your own little bubble, and like, you know, that's part of what makes you cute together, is like, oh, like you guys are adorable, like you're happy and like good, you know. It's not strictly, but I feel like with you I've gotten it sometimes based off of looks.
Dog, I don't look good at all. I'm being straight up, like, no jokes on that. Like, yeah, I remember growing up, I'm like,
no one can see me right now unless you're watching the video, but I was just shooketh by that comment.
I remember growing up, I'm like, damn, like, that's what I'm gonna look like forever. There's no change in this.
Oh my gosh, what?
I looked like a weird, like, I feel like that's probably when I was a teenager, so I mean, but yeah.
And I will tell you, you're ridiculous for thinking that, because I've had so many people compliment how you look to me. Like, so many people be like, he got a great smile, and he's adorable. Ooh, he's handsome, girl. Good for you, and like all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, but like, don't touch. Like, you need to like back up. Like thank you, but chill. So like, shh.
Yeah.
Shh.
Well, my number is.
What? Your number? What?
Women, my number is.
Excuse me? Off the market. That's what it is.
Oh man, but yeah. At the end of the day, it shouldn't. As much as we look at someone like, and like, I feel like celebrities push that narrative, or society. When you go to like stores, you see in the magazine, and they have like this, you know, attractive guy or girl on the cover. It's like it's always pushed that like you have to be. Like, this is a certain look. Like, currently, what?
No, I was just going to say, it was just like what I was telling you the other day about how there's Sexiest Man of the Year is like a magazine thing. Yeah. Like, there you go.
But, like, there's a certain look right now in the last probably 2-3 years. Like, the look has changed from, like, you know, like a clean-shaven thing to, like, the beard or, like, some stubble. Like, the look has changed in society.
It always does, yeah.
And it's, like, it's just... Now it's like anyone that you see in like movies or shows, they don't have a clean face more, so they have like, you know, some bit of like stubble.
I feel like it's more scruffy and relatable.
Yeah, and it's like I'm cool with it because I was like before. Well, you know, it's because you were with me during this like transition time, like the early stages of a relationship. Like I used to shave all the time, and now like over like the last year, I'm just like trimming it down. I'm just like, hey, I'm just following the trend. So it's cool.
Are you intentionally doing that, or is it subliminal?
What do you mean?
Like, are you following the trend on purpose, or it just kind of happens?
I like the look.
Okay.
And it's less work
because that's kind of funny.
Time with me just being able to shave it. Like shaving it, I'm taking like 30 minutes, but instead of just getting like a razor, I could just freaking go through in like 10, 20 at the most.
Listen, I can rock with that. Quarantine, ladies, am I right? Like. We have not given any thought to it. So, but now it's getting warmer, so now I have to, you know, going for walks and stuff. People may see, but
who cares if they see a little?
But I mean,
hair.
the past couple months, like Wolverine, rawr, how you doing? Like,
it's not even that hairy.
See, I'm with a good one, ladies. Okay, it don't stop nothing. He don't care. Like, woo.
They say a period doesn't stop nothing but a sentence. We won't get into that though.
That's another topic for another day. You ain't ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of it, and you know, we'll push this as we have kids. And even like how you mentioned how you like normally go to the girl and we're like, you know, you're so pretty, you look great, all this stuff, and like. It hasn't happened yet, so I'm not sure how I would handle it if we had a daughter, but like I would hope I would be the person that like if I see her, you know, coloring something or doing something and I'm like, man, that's really good, that's smart, like I like how you do that, or like I hope that I'm that dad to like enforce other things and not just the beauty.
And there's like a time and a place for everything, obviously, because when we got married and I did the first look with my dad, like obviously he said I was beautiful and like I was looking for that. Hello, I put all this effort into looking amazing more so than I normally do. So yes, like prom, weddings, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you be telling them like they looking like it. Okay, yes.
Looking like a whole meal.
But what?
Looking like a whole meal.
Okay, not to your daughter, but anyways.
That's not what I meant, but okay.
But yeah, but besides that, like, yeah, I just think it's important to emphasize all the good attributes, you know, your intelligence, your looks, your everything.
Yeah.
Your good heart, all of it. So
I rock with it.
But yeah, I think there's hope for her. But she does need to put the work in. That's the unfortunate part. Is it's not going to be easy. Like, you do have to work through this stuff because it's a generational cycle and you need to break it, and
just
that's
so you're not
never
telling your
easy.
kids that, like, yo, the person you're with. Well, which we would hope. It sounds like she's aware of it.
She's aware. She's
like,
she's the first step. Like, she's admitting it and she's aware of it. She just now needs to take action.
Yeah.
And you know, be aware that this is,
and she's 21, so you're
haul.
young, so it's like you're.
Well,
you know,
good though. Do it now, because if you do it now, then hopefully it's not going to affect your, you know, your long-term relationships that can turn into marriage and babies and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you do it now, then you're going to have good quality relationships. Because, I mean, you can do it while you're in the relationship with that guy, but just I hope he's understanding when you're going through all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Because, woo, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, the guy seems like he would be.
I ship it. I don't even know them, but like from the sounds of it, I ship it. Go get your man. Like, don't mess it up. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm gonna go get me a meal. So yeah.
What a man comment. I'm about to go eat some food.
Well, I say that just a little thing, just so you guys know, because I think I said this on the last episode. I've been doing like intermittent fasting for like the last.
Intermittent.
I thought I said that.
You said like.
I'm doing fasting. Goddamn. Okay. For 16 hours, and you know, it's a fast, and 8 hours to eat. So I've been doing that. It's like my third week coming up. So yeah, doing well. But now I'm hungry, and we're hitting, you know, my time to eat mark. So we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. I may do who knows? We may do a topic on that when I feel comfortable. But right now I don't. I'm trying to work through this right now.
Okay.
Anything else for my people? Oh, our people.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. So, guys, one thing you got to remember, you got to take out of this. Take your mental health days. Take those days off. Go on for a walk. Go out. I mean, you're pretty much trapped in your house. You can't really go out too many places still, even though states are slowly reopening. But just take a day off to stay home and listen to music or play games or watch a movie. Do something for yourself. That's
honestly too. Naps are a good thing right now. Like, don't knock a nap if you can. Like, again, I know that's a whole other story when it comes to having kids, but because I've even heard that from people who are like over 30 and all that stuff, they're like take all the naps while you still can, kind of thing. So I think that more so applies now. So if you need to because you're physically drained, do it. If you need to because you just need to check out, you're mentally drained and you don't know how to handle anything, do it. Do it. Your body will thank you. It's fine. Take a rest. Meditate. I'm still trying to get into meditating. It's hard for me. But like, even just controlled breathing, like all of it.
Yeah.
Just find what works for you.
All right. On that note, guys, I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife,
Lauren.
And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace out.